Warping your loom, step 2. You will still need your black Sharpie, a piece of masking tape to put your name on, a cardboard loom, a pair of scissors. You no longer need the yardstick, the 16 feet of warping string, and your cardboard scrap to keep it on. What we're trying to do is warp your loom so that when you take your weaving off, the top will be open. That's why on the top you're going to see that you go across every other one in the front and the opposite ones in the back. Because when we take it off the loom, they will simply slide off and an opening will be created that goes down inside of the pouch. That's the top of the loom. As you can see, I've marked my loom T-O-P, top. The bottom of the loom, the warp is going to go directly down one side and directly up the other side. You have to make sure that you pull the string taut way up into the notch so that that's even all the way across where the notches end. That will be the bottom of your pouch, and that's what will create the inside bottom that will not let anything fall through your pouch. So let's get started with warping your loom. Take the piece of tape that you put your name on. You're going to start in the back of the loom at the top. So let's mark this so it's easy for you to keep track if you don't finish it all in one class, that you can pick up next time and know where you left off. You want to mark the top. You want to mark that this is a loom. L-O-O-M. You want to mark the bottom, and I'm writing it right on the tabs. And what you are doing today is you are putting the warp string on. Label your loom. It will show me that you're learning this weaving vocabulary and that you can better understand it. The warp strings are the strings that go vertically up along your loom and that you will be weaving through. So let's get back to taking that tape. Start the string at the back. Put it through the first notch. Make sure you leave at least a finger length of string. We will need to tie that later. I had you cut extra warping string so you have enough. Tape your name on, so most of the tape is beside the string, but some of it goes over to hold it in place for you. You will want to slip the string out from under this tape later, but the tape you want to keep on there to show who it belongs to. So keep that just like this for starting our warping. Make sure you've pulled it down into the notch, and we're going to start down the front of your loom, pulling this tight. You're going to go through the first notch at the bottom, and because that's the bottom, you're going to travel right up the back and back home to the top. When I get to the top, I come through the first notch, the same place I started before. But there's already a string here because I need to go across the top and down in the next notch. And as you see, I'm going to travel down the back this time, where I go to the next notch at the bottom, and I just pull it through and come back up home to the top. This time, I'm going into the same notch because it wouldn't be right. Let me show you the difference. Coming over here leaves a space that there is no piece coming up into from the bottom. So go into that second notch, and this time I go around the back. Remember, whenever you get to the top, you go around. When you get to the bottom, you go right back up home. You don't go around, or across, I should say. I come up to the top, I go into my notch. You can always check the back and make sure that you haven't missed a notch coming up through. And I'm going to go across the notch. Whenever I'm at the top, I go into a notch and then I go across to the next notch. And then I go back down to the bottom, straight back up home to the top, and across. Around to the bottom, straight back up home to the top, and what do I do when I get to the top? I go across. It's always a good thing to stop and check your loom and make sure. Every other one should be across on the front. The opposite one should be across on the back. I need to make sure that the lines, the vertical lines, look like I haven't missed any, that they are going up completely parallel on both the front and the back. And you just continue around the bottom, up to the top, and go across. When I get across, I go back down to the bottom, around to the top, and go across. You may have to try this a couple of times. Some people get the neck easily, other people have to take theirs apart and try it again. Don't give up. That's all a part of doing good artwork and good craftsmanship. Keep trying. Your strings should be tight. Think like strings like on a guitar, where you want them taut, you don't want them loose. I'm going to skip ahead to what it looks like when you're finished. As you see, I just keep taking it off of my piece of cardboard as I go. When you're finished, we'll need to knot it. I'll show you that in the next video. Make sure when you finish, you pull again at least a finger length. At least a finger length. And hold it with a slight piece of tape so that it doesn't get lost and that it doesn't allow your strings to loosen up.